How'd I get started in real estate? So that's a good question. Now I got my beaver hat back on, and I look pretty Russian with this hat on, but that's good. That's good. In Winnipeg and Manitoba, it's cold. It's a cold day today. So question is, what's my background? How did I get started in real estate? And sometimes people think, like, you're asking if I was a business guy, right? And I'm not a business guy. I'm a business school dropout, and I'm a computer science dropout, and I'm also a music school dropout, and I graduated from the University of Manitoba with a major in English and minor in music, which I will say on the record is a waste of time and money. I think university is a complete waste of resources, and especially time for young people. Like, the money in Canada is not that much. If you're in America and it's like $100,000 or $300,000 for a degree, just don't even do it. That's insanity. Degrees nowadays are worth less and less. So people think I'm an MBA or I'm a business guy or something, but the truth is I was a musician, and I was a professional musician in my early 20s. I made all my money off of it. So I was a guitar teacher, and I also did gigs. But what I realized was I was never gonna get anywhere with music, because even at like full-time working in it, doing quite a few gigs a week, teaching, a good little teaching roster, and I had a band, I was in several bands, and we had merchandise, and we started touring a little bit, and we started having managers wanting to work with us and stuff. And what I realized was music is never going anywhere. And even if I wanted to be great at it, it's just like the timing of the industries. Like right now, 2018 now, this is back in like 2008, 10 years ago, music was way worse than it is today. There was no YouTube yet. It was like MySpace, and it was just a dark time. So I got out of music, and sometimes you got to get out of stuff that doesn't work. And I started reading a book. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I started reading about real estate, because I heard about passive income. I heard about checks in the mail, and I wanted mailbox money. It sounded good, because I like teaching guitar, and I like getting the checks in the mail. I had like 20, 25 checks every month coming from clients, because I had a little part-time teaching gig. But if I wanted to leave or go on a trip, I couldn't leave, because I had to teach the kids. So what happened was I started to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It said buy real estate. I thought, shit, that sounds great. And what ended up happening was I started going to seminars, started flipping houses. Well, I didn't start flipping houses yet. I started going to seminars and learning about real estate. Now, I went and got a job at Frito-Lay putting chips on shelves at 4 a.m. so I could get some mortgages. And I ended up buying several rental properties, some with joint ventures, some with my own cash and credit. Got myself out of the rat race, so passive income is more than expenses. And at about age 23, I didn't have to work anymore. So I had enough passive income to cover my living expenses, which weren't very much, but I still didn't have to work. So I lay around and played video games for about 3 months. I got depressed. I was depressed when I graduated in 2008 when I was, like 22, 23. Got depressed from graduating, because I realized my graduation didn't mean anything. And then I got out of the rat race, and I got depressed again, because I just played video games all day. And then this is where I really started to take off. What I did was I went and got a coach, a real estate coach, because although I had lots of equity now and some passive income, I didn't have a lot of cash. And so the next step was I got a real estate coach, and he showed me the ropes. He showed me the way to build this thing into a business. And what ended up happening was he said to me, you got to raise $3 to $5 million in the year. You got to start flipping, a lot of houses. And I started flipping like crazy. I did 12 houses in a year, then I did 24 houses, then I did 30. And nowadays, it's several years later, my company, it's a group of people now, does about 50 homes a year. And some of the homes we wholesale, some of the homes we fix and flip. And then, I'm looking for some big deals right now, some bigger, apartments and some storage facilities and things like that. So, now my business has grown into a bigger business. And, you make great money when you're flipping a lot of homes. But what's happened now is I've written some books, I've won some awards. Things came full circle for me when I won Rich Dad International Hall of Fame in 2014. And I started to get featured in magazines, and people were calling me for, speaking. I had a whole bunch of speaking. Everybody wanted to hear my story. So I started speaking, I started doing books, and then I started getting calls for coaching, which I thought was weird, and I never wanted to coach people. I never wanted to help people. But what happened was the calls were happening every day, and I started coaching people for free, but nobody did their homework and nobody showed up. Then I started charging. And when I started charging significant money, people started getting significant results, which is, human nature. That's how it works. If you put something in, you get something out. So now I have, a multi-million-dollar coaching business. I have a multi-million-dollar real estate business. And all of that came from wanting to be a rock star at the beginning. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be famous. My rock band was my goal to be rich and famous. But, just because you want something doesn't mean that it's the thing you should have. And just because you want something doesn't mean that that's what other people want. And I'm going to leave you with this thought. I love what Warren Buffett says. Warren Buffett says, what you love about you is your hobby. What other people love about you is your business. And I loved my rock band. I loved the passion of that. But nobody else loved it. They didn't love my music. I'm a shitty singer. I'm not very good. I'm an okay songwriter, but at the end of the day, it's not about what I want, it's about what you want. It's about what the other people want. So I've become a success today, 8, 9, 10 years later, by giving people what they want and not taking what I want. So that's a big key. If you can flip that mentality around for yourself and start giving people what they want, you're gonna have money forever. It's gonna be bigger money, it's gonna be faster money. You're just gonna have money, because when you're giving people what they want, they're gonna give you what you want. So I'm Stefan Aarnio. Respect the grind, like, share, comment, subscribe. Respect the beaver hat. It's a great hat. Keeps you warm in the Arctic. I'll see you guys on the next video.